Hey, I'm Diana Taurasi from the Phoenix Mercury, and you're listening to the 3-Point Conversion Radio.
All right, everybody, thank you for your patience, and we will begin right away with Phoenix head coach Sandy Brondello. Sandy, first question will come from the first row to your left.
Sandy, you said you felt comfortable, confident they were going to come back and play this kind of game, and it seemed like the other night they got away from you didn't have the energy, you couldn't come back, and today they just answered, and then finally found a way to get over there in the overtime.
Yeah. Talked about just the quick 40-hour turnaround to that first game. We weren't at where we needed to be against a really good team, and tonight we were able to dig deep, and I mean there was still fatigue on both teams, but it's just how bad you wanted it. So really proud. We grinded out a win. Areas we can still get better at, but we made enough plays to get the W.
Sandy, next question will come from the second row all the way to the right.
Sandy, the atmosphere in there tonight, what did you think of it? Do you have a comparison for something you've played in front of?
Yeah, it was pretty amazing, but to be quite, I could hear it. Like my voice gets really, I haven't got the loudest voice. So screaming, that's why I whistle a lot. So lucky I have that thing I can get their attention with. But yes, I could hear it. Obviously I was pretty focused on what we're doing at hand. And it was great. We haven't had much success this year in the footprint. So it was good to finally get a win on our home court. We know we play well on the road, so we're okay going to Chicago. But it was good to finally get a win in front of our crowd. We really do appreciate them. They're the best in the WNBA, and what a great game. Should be a great game for TV as well. So it's always easier for me because we won. So I'm happy.
Sandy, to your left in the front row.
Alex Simon from the next. Sandy, when Skylar's able to distribute the ball the way she did, I think 12 is a career high or ties her career high as a WNBA player. How much does that kind of open up everything in the offense for her and then let her maybe be able to get downhill off of that distribution?
Yeah, look, and Sky will probably say I've missed too many shots, but, I thought with her ability to facilitate and just give us some easy baskets, Breezy at the obviously at the rim and BG, we needed that. It's not very often you look and Diana has 0, but that's why they complement each other. We brought them in because Dee's a 3-point shooter, she's a scorer. She's a great passer as well, but they put a lot of pressure on her. So we put her, more in the screening, being more of a screener, and put the ball more in Sky's hand, and she made some pretty good decisions. There was some times I thought she should have shot it. She passed it back to, it's like, just shoot it because Breezy's going to rebound anyway. But really proud of her. 12, that's great. And that's an area she's really gotten better and better at.
Sandy, front row to your right.
Hey, Sandy, what can you say about Brittany's game today? And is she the type of player in situations like this where you want the ball in her hands on every possession at some point?
Yeah, I did. I probably wanted it more than what we were doing at some stage, just getting that point across, but she kept going and screening. But look, we found a way. I thought we played, as in the second half in particular, we played a little bit more with poise and had a little bit better inside-outside attack, getting her touches down low. Obviously she's a dominant player. We don't want to go all the time because we have to involve everyone else, but, she has to be. She's a playmaker as well, not just a scorer.
Sandy, to your left in the second row.
Yeah, Coach Michelle Vogel at ESPN. You talked about just the energy lift that Sophie brings in. Can you just talk a little bit about what she was able to bring tonight and, how big that was for her to come back and give you guys a lift?
Yeah, that was just to have another body. Obviously, we put her in the starting lineup. We just thought that was the right way for us to start with our rotations and the energy that she brings. And she was great for us. I was pretty mindful of like, okay, is it 3 to 4 minutes yet? Sometimes I'd be forgetting, but she looked great out there. And just, I know she scored early, didn't score in the second half, but it's doing the 1% as well. And her teammates actually feed off her energy. And, those players, you love having those on the floor and on the bench because it doesn't matter if they're playing or not. They're so invested in helping this team win.
Sandy, second row to your left.
Hey, Sandy, Jackie Powell, Bleacher Report. Although the Sky had 50 points in the paint, I'm curious if you can discuss what you saw differently defensively tonight, and also how BG was able to impact you all defensively.
Yeah, I mean, we got to protect the paint against the Sky. We had at halftime we talked about 30's too much. We want to be inside to outside and then scramble. And then they started making some threes in the second half. But, this is a dangerous team from so many different positions that can stretch you out a little bit. Sometimes it's easier said than done. But, when we committed to that when we're a little bit better, obviously we switched to be able to stay in plays. They still made play after play. I mean, this is just two good teams going against each other. And, BG, she had some breakdowns there, but, they're trying to pull her away from the basket as much as they can. So take away her shot blocking ability, but she still impacted the game by changing so many shots as well. But Brianna Turner too, I thought her defense was great. They could have had run outs certain times and she got back and stole the ball. They're the 1%ers. That's just effort and heart.
Sandy, to your right in the front row.
Yeah, even when Diana's not maybe having her best game, when you get into that late game situation overtime, do you sense everybody is turning to her expecting what she ended up doing?
Yeah, she's amazing, isn't she? I mean, it's more like, she was pretty tired out there and, Garden Quigley running around after her all night is, that's fatiguing as well. But Diana does this, regardless if what she's done in the first half, in the fourth quarter, we saw it in Vegas, in the fifth game and in a lot of big games and, Seattle in our overtime. She is just a player that loves those moments. And there's no fear, even on when she's so tired. And she, obviously making that three in high late in the game, that gave us a little bit of separation. So great effort. But, we joked a little bit about her. The biggest play of the day was the steal. Diana doesn't steal very often. So that was big play.
Sandy, second row in the middle.
Sandy, even when Skylar wasn't hitting some shots in the first quarter, she seemed so locked in and had a fire in her. What did you see from the way she responded tonight? And does that competitiveness rub off on her teammates?
Yeah, look, I think that's an area she's gotten better and better all through this year. And we keep telling her, you impact this team, not just by scoring. And I think you saw it tonight, like defense, she's the hardest on herself. A lot of them are, but like defensively, obviously creating for others, facilitating. I mean, having 12 assists, that's great. She had some shots, shots she knows she can make. So she'll be reliving that all tonight. But look, I thought she had a really, really good game. This is just, plays like this are special. They have this fire in their belly, their will to win. And she was, they're all locked in. And that's why I felt good coming into the game. Obviously it was a close game, but, we had a little bit more energy and a little bit more focus.
Sandy, two more questions from within the room. To your right, row 3.
Sandy, Lena Washington, 12 Sports. You had Skylar and Sophie diving for rebounds in the first half and just showing a lot of scrappiness early going. Is there a specific message or something that you would contribute or attribute that to? Or what was just the overall tenor for that grit that your ladies displayed tonight?
It's the playoffs. It's the finals. We didn't, we were one down. This is our home court. We knew we needed to play with that sense of urgency. And like we look back at the film, it's so I said, that wasn't, we're a way better team than what we showed in game one. But we know it's going to be hard because this team is really, really good. And so I talk about, I always steal it. Coach Monty always sends me some quotes and, he talked about excellence and you got to do common things uncommonly well for long periods of time. That's what happens if you want to be excellent at something, you got to just grind it out. And, those players, and you can feed off everybody else. It kind of gets them going. So it was, very proud of their effort. And what wasn't just those two, it's everyone, Shea Petty, we came up with big plays and had to go to overtime, but we got the W and we'll go to Chicago and, hopefully we can both freshen up and get ready for the next game.
Last question from the room, and then we're going to move to Coach James Wade. Sandy, third row to your left.
James K, Chicago Tribune. Sandy, Allie Quigley is one of the most dangerous players coming off the ball and coming off his screens. And it seemed like tonight there was a lot of you were playing them physically, playing her physically. Was that a part of the game plan heading into this series, making her uncomfortable off the ball?
She's a great player. I love Allie. I mean, just her persistence and, you try to just limit her separation as much as we can. And, she got open a few times, and you leave her open, she makes shots. She always punishes you. She doesn't stop moving. I get tired watching her, having to chase that around. But, just, you need to play. This is the finals. You have to play a little bit tougher, play in their space, a little bit more physical. And, she still obviously had 19 points on us. And, we made it as hard as possible.
Sandy, thank you.
Appreciate it.
All right, James, our first question will come from the third row to your left.
Hey, James. The Mercury tonight did their best to just slow down Kalia Copper. She had 15 points, but on like 14 attempts. What did you see from them tonight where they were able to slow her down and contain her?
I mean, when you shoot 4 free throws in 45 minutes and you have 50 points in the paint, so you can call it slow down. I just think they played more physical, and I think they were allowed to. We shot 4 free throws. So call it what you will. I've never seen that ratio in a league game before. You score that many points in the paint, that means you're attacking the basket, and you shoot 4 free throws.
James, next question, third row to your right.
Yeah, Coach Wade, did you feel like this was a sort of a let them play type of game, or
I don't know. I never heard of a let them play. I think when you attack the rim and you get fouled, it should be called. That's it. I don't understand what let them play means. I've never heard that in a game. Say let them play. If they're going to the free throw line, we should.
What did you feel like was the biggest difference in the overtime?
I thought they scored the first 6 points. I didn't feel like I thought they had momentum and getting the spots where they wanted to get to, and we didn't. So it was tough. Sometimes stuff doesn't go your way when you're not in the spots, especially in the last 5 minutes. Execution is really important. So you have to execute, and the team that doesn't, they can get a ran on them really quick, especially in a game like this. So I felt we didn't execute in the overtime, and especially at the beginning, and it kind of gave them a cushion.
James, next question, second row to your left.
Coach Wade, I actually wanted to ask you about that initial start that the Mercury had.
Yeah.
6-0, they came out firing. Tarasi had that first shot, 4-point play, but then your team was able to climb back and tie it up.
Yeah.
How is it though that just that initial burst where the Mercury were able to get? Did it give them? Do you think that it gave them, their players, that confidence that even when the game was tied up right after that they could know that they could jump that head again?
I don't know. I have no idea what they were thinking, or I don't care. I just know we didn't execute.
Next question will come from the first row to your right, and we will then turn to Zoom. Go ahead.
Hey, James, Josh Wine with ESPN. What kind of challenges did Brittany present today for you guys?
I mean, she's a tough player. She was able to get deep position and get the spots on the floor. She's big time. So we just have to do a better job of being physical with her without sending her to the free throw line. I mean, she shot more free throws than our team. So says a lot.
Next question will come via Zoom. Nick Hamilton. Nick, go ahead, please.
Hey, Coach. Can you talk a little bit just about what transpired in the overtime period where you guys started to see the game kind of get away from you and started to see Phoenix start to build a lead and momentum?
It's very key that you start off fast in overtime because if you don't start off fast, it's going to be an uphill battle in an amount of time, and you kind of see it slipping away. But we fought back. It's just that we weren't ready to execute at the beginning of the overtime, and I felt like we should have been able to. They got good minutes off their bench, and so I felt like we probably need to get better minutes off of our bench, and we just weren't able to. And I'm not going to say we were tired because I don't believe that was the case, but we just weren't executing.
James, next question will come from Eric Wilson. Eric, go ahead.
Coach, appreciate your time. They held the team to 31% from 3-point line. How were they able to disrupt you tonight so you weren't able to shoot your typical 37 to 40%?
We just we shot a lot of threes with first intention, so we could have got better looks at the 3-point line. The fact that the ball didn't move enough for us to get threes. We normally are a rhythmatic team where the ball has to come to you, but I think we're a little impatient, and we shot the first three that was there, and we didn't move the defense enough. So I think we have to find rhythm in that regard and moving them first. And you know, if we get an open shot, we want to get a better shot. Good to great. So we got some good threes, but we want to get great threes, and I don't think we got great threes tonight.
Our last question for Coach Wade will come from Rafiq Lusan. Rafiq, go ahead, please, slowly.
This is Rafiq with Nothing But That Sports Talk. Although you weren't able to get the win, Courtney Vanderpool did come up with 14 assists, moving her in the top 5 in all-time assists for the WNBA playoffs. What do you think about that accomplishment for her?
I think it's special. Really, it's hard for me to focus on individual accomplishments. She's done a great job. Great player. A lot of accolades, and that's great. Yeah, but it's time to play Friday.
Can you expect the same effort in game 3?
From
game 3 from Courtney Vanderpool and the rest of the team?
Yeah, I mean, I we're in the finals, so I don't expect anything less than 100%. So I don't know if you mean effort. Do you mean results or
effort and results?
I expect better execution. So that's what I expect.
Appreciate your insight and good luck.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, James.
Thanks
to our media. All right, everybody, we're going to begin with Skylar and with Brittany. Diana will be joining us. Skylar, Brittany, and guest.
Yes.
Your first question will come from the first row to your left.
You guys fought your way into the lead there late in the fourth quarter, couldn't quite finish it, but you jumped out right away at the beginning of overtime. Can you just talk about how important it was to get that early lead in overtime and kind of carry it all the way through?
Yeah, I thought we should have won in regulation. They had some plays. Obviously, I made that foul, and Cop got an and one, and they came down. Sloop made a good play. So we knew we had to bring energy because we felt like we finished it. I felt like that rejuvenated them and gave them some momentum. So we wanted to make sure we came out strong to set the tone in the overtime. And I think D made a 3. I forgot what happened, and it got fouled on the 3 or something like that. And then somebody made a shot, and we went up 6 early. But yeah, just setting the tone in the overtime. You know, seeing how regulation finished, we needed to start with energy.
Next question, also front row left.
Alex Simon from the next. Skylar, on those drives especially, it seems you finished 2 of those with your right hand late in the game. How much has that kind of been something you've been able to improve upon over your career, where you're trusting it and able to use it in a big time moment?
Yeah, I had about 5 or 7 that I freaking should have made. But yeah, I felt good about the way that I was able to get downhill, get ahead of steam today. Even if it was for opening opportunities for my teammates. Obviously got in and missed some makeable layups, but I knew I would have another chance, and my team told me that too. Just keep going, keep being aggressive, trying to get downhill. Had a few lives to BG, Breezy, a few kickouts, and so I felt good with where I was getting on the floor. Not necessarily my finishes throughout the night, but yeah, just trying to make a play, and that's really what I was trying to do all night for this team. Obviously, you know, we have we have a lot of people that are experienced on this team. BG's a go-to, Diana's a go-to. And so I was just trying to do something, whether if it was rebounding or passing the basketball or just making plays on defense. And yeah, those 2 went in for me, and those are big shots.
Second row to your right.
For either of you, Diana was over from 3-point going into the fourth quarter, but made, you know, the clutch threes at the end. What can you say about her ability to just have a bad night be in the past immediately when the clutch moments like that come up?
That's the GOAT. That's the GOAT right there. Okay. So we know what Dees can bring. It doesn't matter how she starts the game or whatever. When the time's going down and it's crunch time, we have all the faith in the world that Dees is going to make those shots and make big plays for us. And I mean, she does it year in, year out.
Next question, third row to your left.
Hey, Brittany. Kareem Copeland from the Washington Post. You talked before the game about being tough under pressure and picking that up from your dad. Was tonight kind of one of those nights? What was that mentality? Because you obviously started off so fast, and then when you guys needed it, kind of got going in that fourth quarter. So just kind of curious about your mindset throughout the night.
Stick with it. It's a game of runs. We knew they were going to make a run. We knew we were going to make a run. Lead changes, but we never got down. That was the thing. Never get down. Keep going. Get a stop. Get a score. Get a board. Try to force them into turnovers and like those little things throughout the game. We knew were going to help us get the win.
First row to your right.
Hey, Diana. Josh Weintraub, ESPN. When the shots aren't falling for you early and Brittany's going like she was, how important is it to keep feeding her, to keep getting her involved, and for her to take over like she did?
Oh, it's huge. And we know where our bread and butter is. I mean, BG is just playing at a different level right now. And there's really nothing anyone can do. So we knew coming into this game, it was going to be a big focus. Got to get BG down lower early and often. And she sustained us for most of the game when offensively we really, didn't have a rhythm. And every time I looked up, she was making big basket after big basket when we were playing well. So that's just what BG does, though. I think we take it for granted sometimes how amazing she is.
Next question will come second row to your left.
Hey, BG. Jackie Powell with Bleacher Report. Before I ask my question, I was curious if you could introduce to us your guest.
Shakari. You want to say hey? It's my nephew right here. Say hey.
Good job.
Hi.
Swaggy.
Oh yeah.
Nice to meet you. So BG, I'm curious as to what your goals were, both offensively and defensively, coming into this game. Of course, after you watched the film from game one.
Well, don't suck on defense like I did first game. That was honestly my biggest thing. Just not hugging my man. I hugged my man way too much in that first game. And it's right, I did. I hugged him way too much. And when I'm in the paint and they see me and I'm there, that's when I can help my team. When I'm out hugging on the perimeter and not in the paint, like I'm just dead weight out there. So that was a big thing. And then just being aggressive from the jump. If it goes in, goes in. If it doesn't, it doesn't. My teammates have all the faith and always talking to me. So that was my thing. Just go to the rim, get it. If I don't, I don't.
Two more questions from the room before we turn to Zoom. Front row center.
Paul Richardson with the Sports Game. Sky, you talked about the layups are missed, but you seem to have your fingerprints all over this game. 12 assists. You got your own rebound on a couple of those. Could you just talk about how you stayed aggressive all the way through everything, even when your shot wasn't falling?
Yeah, I was just trying to make something happen. Like I said, I felt really good about how I was able to get ahead of steam, get downhill, get in the lane, create opportunities for my team. And yeah, it didn't fall for me, but I was just trying to do other things. Like I said, making plays, on defense, trying to get a steal, just trying to do other things and find that edge, that rhythm within the game. And so, yeah, it's like that sometimes. And I got two great players, a lot of great players coming off the bench that have my back. And so just trying to stay aggressive, even if it's not for me, if it's creating opportunities for other people, but just keeping that mindset on both sides of the basketball.
Second row to your right.
For any of you guys to be in a finals game that's going back and forth down the stretch into overtime, kind of a great classic game. Could you feel the moment and could you feel the energy in the arena tonight?
I mean, it was crazy.
I couldn't hear.
It was crazy in there. And when you're in that moment, the gravity of what's going on. I mean, you can feel it, and you try to just laser in on each possession, each timeout, really communicating with each other. And at the end of the day, it just ends up being basketball. And I think that's the beauty of our team is with everything that's going on, we can just always focus on what we need to get done. And today we did an amazing job doing that. You know, Chicago still played really, really good today. So it's not like, you know, they didn't play well. They played amazing. And we just, you know, got a couple possessions that went our way, and, you know, the game went our way.
All right, we're going to turn to Zoom. Our first question will come from Maggie Hendricks. Maggie, you will be followed by Philippe and then Doug. Maggie, go ahead.
Hi, ladies. Brianna Turner she only was credited with 3 steals, but she kept like tapping the ball and out of possession. And I wanted to see what you guys took away from that and what she really contributed to the game tonight.
Well, she needs to grab the ball then. I mean, Breezy's a problem. What she does for us will never show up on this, but the only reason we're here is because of her. And we all know that on our team, coaching staff, the people around this team, we literally are what Brianna Turner is every single day. And she's got us here with the way she's played, her uncanny ability to affect the game without having the ball is just second to none.
Felipe, go ahead, please.
Sí, gracias. Diana, para ti en español, ¿cómo te sientes en ayudar al equipo cuando más te necesitaba en tiempo extra?
Bueno, fue un partido que a lo primero no jugué muy bien, pero el equipo estaba jugando bien y estábamos tratando de hacer diferentes cosas. Y a veces los partidos son largos y tenés que esperar tu turno. Y para mí me tocó un poco más tarde en overtime, un poquito en el cuarto. Y tenés que tener paciencia a veces. Siempre quieres estar en un momento bueno, pero a veces nos pasa eso. Pero con la paciencia, teniendo la humildad para también que jueguen todo. Una cosa con la experiencia que de 39 años, a veces se tiene que esperar un poco, y hoy esperé y me tocó y entró la pelota unas cuantas veces.
Gracias.
Brittany, translation.
Okay,
Overclass way too much.
I will move to Doug Feinberg, and then our last question will go back to the room for one more. Doug, go ahead, please.
D, you never cease to amaze with your talents. Everyone's talking about your offense in overtime, but the defensive play you made, the steal, just talk about that for a second, how big that was to get you guys the win tonight.
Yeah, you know, I finally get a steal and then I trip over my own feet at the other end. That's just kind of my life in a lot of ways. I mean, they're tough to guard. I mean, we tried everything today. We switched, we blacked, we hedged, we soft, we did all these things. And, you know, it was a lot of hard work from everyone on our team. I mean, a salute to Handful, Q, Candace is just, you know, playing at such a high level. And then you think about Copper, what she's done in these playoffs, and then Azure, and then Diamond. I mean, there's a lot of things that we really have to make sure every possession we're locked in. And today we did that enough times.
The last question will come from Michelle in the back to the right.
Yeah, Diana, I was just wondering, Skylar was saying how she's looked to you and BG because you've been in finals before, but it just seemed to me like she really stepped forward big time tonight. Can you talk about what she's brought to the franchise and also just the chemistry that it seemed like was just instant between you and her?
I mean, I've said it. I've been around this game for a long time, and there's not too many people that compete the way Skylar competes every single day. And, you know, we've gotten to work out for 2 off seasons. Every day is the same. Every day is game 5 for her. And I've said this before, that's kind of ignited my passion for the game a little bit, to see someone do it every single day. And what she did today is Skylar taking it to a different level. It's always nice when you're playing well and everything's going your way. You know what I mean? You know, those nights are great, but the days where you're really struggling and you're trying to find yourself in the game, and the way she just impacted the game every single possession, probably one of the best games I've ever seen her play.
Skylar, Diana, Brittany, thank you.
Thank you.
Courtney, Candace, Scalia, Kelly, thank you for joining us. We're going to start. First question will come from the second row in the middle.
Hey guys, Annie here. Right in the middle. For anybody that wants to take this, but the Mercury had just 2 leads up until the 4th quarter, and then things kind of seemed to break down for you guys that allowed them to tie things up, and then we saw the back and forth. So what happened for you guys that kind of allowed Diana and BG to really get going there in the 4th?
I think, I think there were key parts of the game where we turned it over, could have had a 2 and gave up a 3. I know my turnover where Brianna Turner from behind got me. They came down, got a layup. So I think that there were a number of plays during the game, whether we were up or not, where it was like, it hurt us. So I think, yeah, like it was our turnovers. I mean, they had, yeah, a lot of turnovers a lot of points off of our turnover. How many?
25.
Yeah, 25 points off our turnovers. So we got to do a better job of taking care of the ball.
Next question, first row, all the way to your right.
Right here.
Hey guys, I'm Josh Wentz with ESPN. For any or all of you, when Brittany gets going like that, what are some of the challenges that she presents?
Well, she's tough. She was comfortable tonight. We always try to make things difficult as we can for her, mixing up reads but when she gets going like that, she had 10 quick points early. But we're okay with that. We know she's a great player for a reason. We just got to try and throw something else at her. But we were still in a position to win the game. We just didn't make the right plays.
Next question, third row to your left.
Hi there. Kalia, it didn't seem like this team played you all too much differently outside of them being physical with you. James voiced his displeasure with how with the team only getting the line 4 times, was upset with the officiating. Do you feel like this team played more physically with you from game 1 to game 2, or what was there not a difference?
Yeah, I think this playoff run has been super physical. But yeah, we were just battling out there, and I think this is the finals, so this is what it's about. So we adjust and we keep it moving.
To your left in the second row.
Hey, Candace, I'm curious from your observations, what were the types of adjustments that you thought BG was able to make defensively from game 1 to game 2?
BG was able to make defensively?
Yes, adjustments.
I think that's more Phoenix. I know for me personally, I don't know if it changed what we're trying to do in terms of moving the ball. I think obviously we have a lot of different weapons. And so when they take one thing away, we got to be confident and move it. And I think we did that early, and we did that throughout the game in spurts, but we need a consistent 40 or 45 minute of moving them, because we can't play their game where we come off, they're too long and too, active and too athletic.
All right, our next questions, we're going to go to 4 questions from Zoom. We're going to start with Tukni. Tukni, go ahead. You're going to be followed by Sean.
Hi, Candace, we saw you as you were walking the bench kind of tap your chest. Was there a specific message you wanted to tell the team in that moment after the game?
This was a tough one. You lose game 2 on the road in overtime. And, I'll take that one. I think there were spurts where we needed to be better, and I think we were better in those moments. I like our chances. So Phoenix came out. They really did a great job in the 4th quarter. I think we were up with 5:33, and then they came down, and I think we made mistakes, and I think I was one of those that made mistakes. So, we gotta write that going back to Chicago.
Next question will come from Sean, and Sean, you will be followed by Maggie.
Sloot, I noticed you hurt your foot in the game. I was just wondering what's going on there, and do you expect it to be an issue going forward?
No, it's not going to be an issue going forward.
Maggie, go ahead, please. Maggie, you will be followed by Gavin.
Looking ahead to the next game, I'm sure you guys have heard that Wintrust is already sold out. So just wanted to see what message you have for fans coming off of this game.
Well, first, I think I want to take a moment because everybody always asks, like, how do we know when the WNBA is growing? And, I'm one of those that's like, I got to believe it with my own eyes. So I went on, tried to buy a ticket to Wintrust because, a lot of times it's sold out, but you can still get tickets. And there were no tickets, went on Ticketmaster, and the resale value was amazing. So I think first, it's great for our fans. It's great for the city of Chicago, and it's great for the WNBA for that to happen. And then another thing, like the NBA played on our court. They played on the WNBA court for preseason games. So I think that just says a lot of where the league is and where the league is going, but then also just how proud we are to go back in the city of Chicago embracing us like they have.
Our next question will come also from Zoom from Gavin. Gavin, after you, we're going to go back to questions in the room.
Hi, my question's for Candace as well. Candace, just as a Chicagoland native, I'm wondering what the opportunity to play the game on this stage in Chicago in the finals means for you.
It means a lot. I mean, I think any opportunity you get to play in the finals, it's my 14th year, it's my third finals. I don't take it for granted. And then to go back home, I think it's special. And, I hope that the city is ready to cheer us on and give us the energy we need.
How many friends and family do you think will be in attendance for you on Friday?
A lot. I think everybody has a lot. People flying in, people already there. My baby girl's going to be there. So I'm excited to play in game 3 for sure.
Thank you.
Next question, second row, all the way to your right.
Yeah, this Courtney, can you maybe talk a little bit about Skylar tonight? Some of the things she was able to do. She missed some shots, but in the end, she was able to make some good drives and some good decisions. And how difficult was it? Some of the things that she was doing against you guys tonight.
Well, I mean, I think we made her take tough shots, and Skylar's a great player. She makes great plays. And that's what great players do. So she made some good plays down the stretch. But we're going to continue to make things, hard for her. And, I think we're okay with where we're at. But yeah, this is a final. She's an Olympian. She's making great plays out there, as she should.
All right, we have 2 more questions we're going to get to. We're going to go to Zoom again for Nick Hamilton. Nick, go ahead.
Good evening, ladies. This question is actually for Candace and Courtney, whichever one. You talk about this team obviously going back to a sold-out crowd in Chicago. How much momentum does this help you guys, just knowing that this crowd is waiting for you guys, and especially on this big of a stage, and making sure that you guys stay balanced and not get too high and get too low, but knowing what the mission is at hand, which is to obviously accomplish winning a championship?
I think that's this team. Like we gotta stay together. And throughout this playoffs, I don't think we've gotten too high or too low. Throughout the season, I don't think we've gotten too high or too low. So I think we got to use it to our advantage, right? Like everybody's going to be cheering for us. But we got to stay focused and do the things that we know we have to do going into game 3.
And our last question will come from Danny Thompson. Danny, go ahead, please.
Thank you for taking my question, ladies. Danny Thompson with a 3-point conversion. This is for actually all 3, whoever wants to answer it. Normally, the team shoots right around between 37 and 40% from the 3-point line. I think tonight the team shot right around 31%. Without looking at the film, do you feel like the quality of shots were up to you guys' normal standards, or do you feel like you rushed or didn't take the same type of shots you've taken in game one or in previous games this season?
Yeah, I think we probably settled a little bit too much in this game. Forced some shots. We're really good when we're getting into the paint and then kicking out. So maybe we settled a little bit. We'd like to shoot a higher percentage, but we'll watch some film, make sure we're taking really good shots, because when we're taking good shots, there's a good chance we're going to score, and we're tough to beat.
Candace, Kalia, Courtney, thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you to our media.